Now we're just over an hour before kickoff to the final of the Africa Cup of Nations between the host Ivory Coast and Nigeria. Our vivacious presenter Xoli, she's crossing paths with fans in Pretoria and she's standing by waiting in anticipation for this spectacle. Xoli, I know it's going to be exciting as always from you as you take us through the final moments of the show here on Sports Live. From me, Zai Khan, I can't wait for kickoff.
Absolutely, Zai. We are going to be wrapping things up in fine style for Sports Live, but not until we give you the last crossing from here at Menlyn in Pretoria. About an hour and 10 minutes until kickoff at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium. It is the big finale. Nigeria, the Super Eagles, are taking on the Elephants of Ivory Coast. And I did say not only will it be divided in Ivory Coast, but it is divided here in Menlyn. But surprisingly, I've got just Nigerian supporters. Farouk Lebu and of course an artist who DJs here all the time, Ghost, are going to be giving us their predictions. And just in terms of what you're looking forward to the match today, you have come out boldly to say to me off air, Super Eagles, Nigeria all the way. Where's this confidence coming from?
I'm Nigerian, so I obviously have to go with it. But looking at how they've been playing, Nigeria is going to take it. A 3-3 win, 3-0 win.
So you're not even seeing the Ivorians score just a single goal. It will be the dominance of Nigeria today.
Super Eagles all the way, man. Super Eagles all the way.
Lebo, you did not even flinch. You didn't hesitate when I asked you who you are going for. You said Nigeria with so much confidence. Has it been their dominance throughout the tournament, how they've displayed their football that has really made you say, without a doubt, they'll be crowned the Kings of Africa this evening?
Yes, it has been. And on top of that, I can't choose another team because, okay, he's my boyfriend. So if I choose another team, I'm going to die.
Okay, so this is now going to be breaking up relationships, basically. Yeah. So in your heart, is it Ivory Coast? And then you're just saying Nigeria just for the sake of the relationship?
No, definitely not. It's Nigeria. Trust and believe.
All right, Ghost, you have also joined the party in terms of saying Nigeria is going to do it for you. What has impressed you the most about Nigeria's style of play and just how they've been able to surpass their opponents this entire tournament?
I think my reason for going with Nigeria is because I'm South African. Okay. They knocked us out of the competition. And looking at how they've been playing, I believe we had a strong team as South Africa. So the team that knocked us out is most definitely supposed to be the one that has to lift the cup so that the boys can get some kind of slack to say, you know, you guys lost to the eventual champions rather than, but I think it will be a tough game actually because now with Ivory Coast, they have the home ground advantage. But in the spirit of football, we're just hoping for a good final and may the best man win. But yeah, I'm going with Nigeria because for one, I love football and they've got the likes of Victor Osimhen, a lot of players that play in the Premier League. So, yeah, I think my favorite one would have to be Nigeria.
You know, I find that so fascinating because you would think that after Bafana Bafana losing to Nigeria, you would be so bitter to the extent that you don't want to see them lift the trophy. But your reasoning is quite different.
Yeah, I think if you love football and if you're a football supporter, then you get to understand that with such things, mostly the team that knocks out the favorite goes on to lift the cup. So you just have to look at the play and then look at the strong team. Like I said, I believe we're stronger than Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast progressed by luck. They were third in the group stages. Yeah. So they were one of the lucky progressors. Yeah. And eventually now they find themselves in the final. So, but with Nigeria, it's a different story because they've been strong throughout the tournament. And we as South Africa were strong ourselves. So now, because they knocked us out, I'm actually rooting for them to lift the cup.
Yeah, and also when you look at that Nigerian team, from the likes of Lukman to Simon, and of course Osimhen, the goalkeeper Stanley, who also plays in the PSL, this is a squad that really has the quality to push Ivory Coast all the way.
They're winning, definitely. I don't even have words to say Ivory Coast might take it or might score. There's no way Ivory Coast is making it through. Nigeria, I trust Nigeria all the way. I mean, I'm a football player myself, and I'm Nigerian, so I know how it's done that side and how hard they train and they get ready for these type of games. So I doubt they're slacking on this game.
But surely you can give it to Ivory Coast to say the manner in which they reach the final is a fairy tale story on its own. You know, rightfully so, Morocco giving them that huge advantage as they progress through to the round of 16 and being able to defeat the likes of Senegal and getting to a point where they are in the final. They truly are contenders.
They're just lucky. As he said, they're just lucky winners. I don't see them at all. Because from the start, when I saw them play, I thought these people would be knocked out, I mean, group stages wise. But because they're the hosting team and they get that type of advantage, I feel they're not getting through with this. There's no child's play in terms of finals, and there is no being rigged and whatnot. So Nigeria is taking this thing. Ivory Coast, please, can go sleep.
Oh, they can go sleep. But the 12th man is going to be so important. Those supporters cheering on Ivory Coast. Mentally, it could play a role when it comes to Nigeria. Whenever they touch the ball, they will see that, you know, the supporters are not in their favor. That could have an impact on them.
Nah, true. But all I can say right now is everything he said is true. Nigeria is taking this cup and it's picking up this cup today. Trust and believe.
All right, so just the final score predictions. Are we going to go all the way to extra time and penalties? Do you see this thing wrapped up quick and fast in 90 minutes? And who do you think is going to be scoring?
If it was possible, after goal number 3 in first half, they must shut it down. But since it's not like that in terms of football-wise, maybe 3-4-0. It's not getting to extra time, not getting to penalty. That's my prediction on it.
Farouk's confidence level?
Hey.
Everything he said.
Yeah, everything he said.
I love this relationship. And Ghost?
Well, I'd have to say, like you said, the 12th man is going to play a huge role. So that also affects the players mentally, and we could actually see a close game. But I believe Nigeria would probably wrap it up in 90 minutes, and I see probably Victor Osimhen scoring 1 or 2 because he hasn't really had a good tournament so far. So he'd want, as the reigning African player, he'd want to prove his worth, and how do I put it? He'd want to prove that he owns the title, and I think he'd probably score 2 or 3 goals today.
Wow. All right. So they are clearly in favor of Nigeria. There was no swaying them today. They believe it will be the Super Eagles that claim a 4th continental title in their history. But the question will always be around Ivory Coast. Such a beautiful fairy tale story of how they progress to the final. And the 12th man is going to play such an important role. We're just an hour away from kick-off and just an hour away from finding out who will be crowned the Kings of Africa for 2023. Thank you so much for joining us. We were right here at Menlyn in Pretoria. It's all about the 34th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. And soon we will know if it is Nigeria or Ivory Coast that will be the eventual victors. Good night.
That's Xoli Zondo there, wrapping it up in true Mzansi style. That's the final whistle here on Sports Live. That's it for now. Cheers and keep up the spirit of the game.